In this video clip, I'm going to discuss a turned and stitched seam finish, also called a clean or a hemmed finish. A clean, turned and stitched or hemmed seam finish is ideal for unlined garments, works well for lightweight woven fabrics and some medium weight woven fabrics, but not for heavyweight woven fabrics because, as you'll see, it becomes a thick seam finish. Once the seam is sewn, it's to be pressed flat and then open. Once pressed flat and open, the seam is then pressed. So here's my seam, pressed flat and open, and then each seam allowance is pressed under so that it almost touches but not quite the line of stitching. Once pressed, then each seam allowance is sewn separately. So I take my seam allowance, place it in the machine, and stitch close to the folded pressed edge. Once the first seam allowance has been completed, I flip it over and sew the second seam allowance. As you might imagine, sewn with matching thread, this would be a beautiful seam finish on the inside of an unlined jacket or another unlined garment where the inside of the garment might show.